Welcome to the Creation Evaluation Station. On this episode, we are going to be evaluating Minions 2. And yes, I know it's late. I wasn't even going to do this review because I wasn't even going to watch the movie. But I have a story behind that. But first, if you're not familiar with my channel here, I do in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old, mostly Lego, but other products as well. I also do, as in this case, discussion and reviews of other creative works, such as movies, video games, and cartoons. So, Minions 2. Wasn't going to go see it. Reason being, I didn't like the first one. And as far as that goes, let me tell you about the whole entire franchise. I love the Despicable Me movies. The first one was my favorite. When they announced that there was a second, I was skeptical because I didn't feel like it needed one. It was a self-contained story. Enjoyed the character development in the movie. Enjoyed the story. It was very impactful. Didn't need one. Well, the second one came out, and I was pleasantly surprised. They did well with what they had, and third one, maybe a little bit less so, but it was still decent. So I have been, for the most part, happy with the Despicable Me movies. Quality may have gone down a little bit, just with the storytelling, not with like the animation or anything. If anything, it's probably gotten better. Then came the Minions movie. So first, yes, I was excited because it's essentially another Despicable Me movie, right? Well, no. It's prequel. We see how the Minions meet up with Gru at the end of the movie. But there's no real story in it. I mean, we follow the Minions throughout the ages, the years. But there's not really a good story. Now, I understand why kids would still love the movie, and it's still a fun movie. It just wasn't worth me to go to the theater to watch this because it basically felt like a very long Minions short. And that's fine for Minions shorts. I love Minions shorts. But the whole thing, that really long one, it just doesn't feel like it's worth it, you know. And I could also see parents being kind of bored with it, even though the kids would like it, and that makes it less of a family movie and just makes it a straight up kid movie. So when the second one was announced and when it came out, I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I'm not going to go to it. Maybe if they make an actual Despicable Me movie, I would go see it. But now I'd already seen the trailers for it. I was like, okay, well, Gru is in this. That's kind of interesting. But then I was watching it one day and it's like, with everything going on in life, it's rough. There's uncertainty, there's all sorts of weird stuff going on, and I needed to laugh. Need something to laugh at, release some stress. And this was a good movie to go do that. And so that's why I decided I would like to go see the Minions movie. This was probably almost a week after it came out. And I'm like, I think I want to go see that. I did it at first because, there's no story. It's going to just be an extended, be like the first one. Well, I watched it and was pleasantly surprised. It was better than the first one because there is some story and something interesting going on rather than just our little yellow lovable goofballs doing their goofy stuff. Because Gru is in this movie, and he's got his own story arc going on. Now, he's a background character in it, opposed to the other way around, where the Minions are the background characters in Despicable Me. And I mean, I think they could have just made it. It was good. I enjoyed that was there, because it gave me more to watch than just all the silliness. Even though, yes, I did come for the silliness, but I was pleasantly surprised by it and was not expecting it. And I think that will make parents happier too, to give them something to look at, watch, his story arc through the thing. It's a bit of a spoiler. I'm not going to have a spoiler review of this or anything, but he basically, ends up with a father figure through this story, or at least kind of gets one, and it's like it's showed not tell, but a little bit too much show not tell. But that's kind of why I said that he's a background character and we didn't focus on him as much as we did the minions. I wish they kind of did that. That would make it even better. But I can kind of see why they didn't do it, because it's a Minions movie and not a Despicable Me movie, if you catch my drift. I guess that's the difference, whether it's Minions or me being Gru. That's the difference between the two movie types. I wish they would do that, and it would make it more of a more family movie and less of just a kiddie movie. But yeah, I enjoyed it much more than I thought I was going to in that way. Did I get my laughs in? Yes. Only other thing I want to talk about is just that the ending, although it kind of goes along with the whole thing, is there's a climactic ending, because something happens, big happens, but it doesn't feel climactic because there's no build up to it. Like, the bad guys get these essentially superpowers or whatever from this amulet that they show all the way at the beginning, but they don't tell us what it does. They give us a kind of time frame. Oh, it'll happen at the New Year, the Chinese New Year, but they don't give us any real detail about what it does. So there's no real build up, any anticipation to find out what this thing actually does. They're just chasing after it, trying to get it, and then at the end of the movie it's activated and we see what it does, and it's kind of big and epic, but there's no real build up to it, so no suspense, no anticipation for it. So that the climax kind of feels flat. It feels like just more of the continued silliness that we already saw. Granted, it's amped up a little bit, but not impressive and not as exciting as it could be. Was it still silly? Yes, it was still silly. So that's basically my thoughts on this movie. I'm not going into any big details. There really isn't, there's a lot of minion silliness. It's good fun. It's funny. Good potty humor, stuff like that. Which, if that doesn't float your boat, then of course this movie's not for you, or you won't enjoy it as much. So that's my thoughts. What did you guys think of it? Did you happen to go and watch it with your family, or did you go with your spouse like I did? She actually fell asleep, but she works overnights and had been up all night and all morning. We watched it around noon. So, and those big, nice, comfy chairs. The ones with the, you can put your feet up and everything. Yeah, she fell asleep. I really wasn't surprised. Not because the movie, you know, like I said, it wasn't because the movie was boring. She was very tired. But that's one great thing if you're in one of those theaters, you know, put your feet up, take a nap while the kids enjoy the movie. Is it worth the price of the ticket to do that? I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this movie and even the other ones. Did you go just to let off some steam, have some fun? Life's been getting rough lately. But that's what we have entertainment for. At least that's what we're supposed to have entertainment for. I don't think the entertainment industry even knows that anymore. Takes themselves too seriously. But this company does not, and they know how to have a fun show. But with that, I think I'm about done here. So I'm going to sign off and remind you that creativity is key.